Hi, my name is Andro. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm currently here in beautiful Bali, Indonesia. And the reason I'm shooting this video is I want to explain the daily schedule that got me from zero, basically making no money, to $10,000 a month or 200,000 Rand roughly per month. And from there to over R500k per month or $30,000 a month, right? Round about those numbers. And I can tell you from experience, obviously, that going from 0 to 10k a month, it's a completely different schedule. Obviously, from if you're making no money, like you can have any schedule and just basically do nothing and you'll make 0. But 10k a month, it's vastly different than making like 30, 50 or 100 and above. All right. So it's this weird stage where you have to go through from basically doing all the work yourself and then delegating. So that's what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about that whole journey from 0 to 10 or 200,000 Rand, which is still, decent money if you're living in like third world countries. And from there, 200,000 Rand to R500k, and then also beyond. So, from 0, if you're making 0, I don't need to explain how you need to do that. Like just do nothing and you'll make $0 per month or 0 Rand per month. But if you want to make 10k a month or 200,000 Rand per month, you have to drastically change some things up. All right. So as you're well aware, it's not easy. Like everyone, it shows on YouTube and all these, social media. It looks easy, right? It's simpler than it seems, but it's harder than it looks. All right. It looks pretty easy from the outside in. Like this guy, is just making some YouTube videos, and like when I last saw him, he made like no money, and now he's making a lot of money. It looks easy, right? But it's harder than it seems, okay? But also simpler than it looks. It looks pretty complex from the outside in, like what are all these systems I need to do? Like what are this hiring? Like, what is all this stuff that I need to do? But it's simpler, but it's also harder, okay? There's a difference. So that's the first thing you need to understand. So the thing I mean by this, or the reason I say this is because, it's a lot harder. So, you think you'll just make it in like 30 days or 3 months, like you'll achieve your dream goal, your dream lifestyle in like 3 months. That's not the case, right? It might be the case. You might strike gold if you are, some people are just lucky, and luck is definitely a role. Like I was pretty lucky, but also you create your own luck through opportunities, through putting yourself out there. If you're not putting yourself out there, no luck can, actually come in your way, like come in your journey. Like you're not putting yourself out there, right? Luck can't find you. So first off, you need to actually put yourself out there, and you do that through, I've mentioned this so many times, like people in the comment section are like, oh, what like the specific steps? Like I've done countless videos of this, but like all you really can do as a business owner is, doing outreach, like sending messages to people through DMs and emails, and then also ads and organic content. So that's really all you can do to put yourself out there. So that's what people mean when they say put yourself out there. All right. So just to be a bit simpler, but also people have a drastic, underestimation of how much volume it takes to become successful. So the thing I mean by this is that, volume in terms of actually sending the messages, writing ads, spending money on ads, like the volume, the actual inputs required, people drastically underestimate this. All right. So you have to do way more than you think. All right. So let's just go into specifics of the actual schedule. So making no money, like I was just doing nothing. Like I was consuming a lot, which is also an important phase in your journey. Like you need to rewire some faulty beliefs in your brain, okay? Like money is evil, and like money is hard to come by, and like all those weird beliefs that people have about everything. All right. So you have to rewire and just let go of all those faulty beliefs that are holding you back. And most of your early 20s, I also wrote a tweet about this. It's like most of it is unlearning. Like it's not really learning, and also unlearning is in and of itself learning. So you need to unlearn all the BS, like all the school system stuff, like all that crap you went through. Like is really not going to benefit you in any way. So you need to unlearn that, and then once you've got a clean slate, then you can learn new stuff, read new books, consume course material, get mentors, get coaches, all that kind of stuff, right? Because if you actually learn on top of a faulty belief system, it's just going to be chaos. it's going to conflict with your current paradigm. All right. So making no money, like I was just consuming content, which is also good. But like, I was going to the gym like every single day. So I was very disciplined in that area, which obviously resulted or which helped in my journey as well, because I can just transfer that discipline over to business. But yeah, I wasn't really doing much, not reading really, just going to the gym, eating pretty healthy, and that's about it, and going to school. And also doing some side hustles and all that. I get a lot of DMs of people saying like, what are some side hustles I can do? Like, you're making no money. Why do you want a side hustle? Like, you need a business. Why are you out here trying to do side hustles? You know how difficult side hustles is? It looks so easy from the outside in. Like, I've been through that, obviously. So I was looking at these people like, oh, doing side hustles, and like, I want to do this. Looks so easy. No, just start like a business and go all in on one thing. Like, you don't want to mess around with like 7 side hustles. Like, that is an absolute nightmare. Don't ever do that. Just start one business, focus on one specific client you want to help and solve problems for, and charge their money. Like, that's in and of itself difficult. Why do you want to go out there and start like 7 side hustles? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But like, it looks cool from the outside, right? So that's why people make the content, so I can understand it. But still, don't do it. It's not very clever. So yeah, that's the first thing. So the schedule that got me from 0 to 10k a month, or 200,000 Rand, and it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. In like the grand scheme of things, that's absolutely nothing. Like, you will notice once you reach that goal, it's just like you feel absolutely broke. Once I was making $3,000 a month, I was at my absolute peak, my absolute like enjoyment of life, like everything. Okay, that was like I made it basically. But once you're making more, like, I felt broker, because my ceiling of what is possible, like my actual like, oh wow, I can actually do this. Like, I can actually make a lot more money. That gap increased a lot. So when I was making $3,000 a month, I was like, whoa. Like, this is the peak, like I'm set, But once I hit that stage, like a few months later, or a month or 2 later, I was like, wow, I can make 10, 20, 30. So that gap got bigger. So once I got like to 5 or 10k, I was like, I can make 20, 30, 50k. That gap got bigger. So my, I didn't really enjoy it as much, or my, that gap caused a bit of pain. Like, wow, I can actually do a lot more. So I felt broker. All right. So the schedule that got me from 0 to 10k is just like, sourcing leads. So first off, you need to figure out who you want to serve, like what problems you want to solve. Like, entrepreneurship at its core is solving problems. Okay. So figure out what people's problems you want to solve, and you enjoy solving their problems. So, I went to content creators, all right, because I obviously worked with Imangaji. I got some experience working there. So I wanted to implement that same system, or that same methodology with other big creators, all right? And I'm currently doing that, pretty good at that. So obviously, because I built some experience, I've been doing it for almost like 2 years now. So like, I know what I'm doing. So that's why I went that route, because I had some experience working with Imangaji and then Alan Moore after that, like a bunch of creators who even worked with Mike Tyson. So like, obviously I'm going to use that social proof in my marketing to get more clients. Like, it just makes sense. All right. It's the most effortless, seamless path I can go down. But let's say you are in the plumbing industry, or like electrician, or like cars, anything like that. Like, I know nothing about cars, like nothing, like not even horsepower, like absolutely nothing. So when you think, right? Let's take another example. Like, I obviously go to the gym a lot for over 6 years now. So some people don't even know you should eat like a gram per pound of body weight of protein per day if you want to build muscle. Like, you need to be in a calorie deficit, how to work out your maintenance calories. Like, that seems like common sense to me. But like, for other people, it's like, what? Like, do you need to eat protein? Like, you don't realize how much when you're in those fields, like let's say plumbing or cars or anything like that. You have some experience. Maybe your father is like owns his own company with like cars or anything like that. Like, you underestimate how much you know compared to the average person. Like, I know nothing. Like, horsepower, I don't know, like, what's that? Like, obviously I know a bit, but like, compared to you, maybe who's in that industry for like a while, like, you underestimate your knowledge. So you can go in that field and just reach out to people and say, oh, I can solve this one problem. Like, I don't know what problems they face. That's why I can't really give that example. But let's say, take the fitness, for example. Like, I can go to gym guys and like say, oh, you need to train like, you need to do progressive overload, eat lots of protein, get adequate rest, like drink lots of water. Like they're like, what, really? Get enough sleep. Like they don't know this stuff, even though it's common sense for me. So I can help them solve that problem and charge money for that. So obviously went to the content or the creator economy, right? I went to those people and I said, like, you are, leaving a lot of reach on the table through not using this organic system that we have, producing mass content for you, where you can get your solution out to more people and then obviously make more money. Because if more people see your solution, which is, and they're facing a specific problem, and you present that solution to them in a well-packaged manner, they will make more money. And as a result, they can use that money to pay us. So it's just like a win-win, right? I'm making them more money and they're paying me with that money. So it's like a win-win. So that's essentially how it works. It's not that difficult. So all I would do is reach out to specific people in the creator economy, with emails and DMs. I would literally do that every single day. That was from 0 to 10. That's all you need to do. Okay. That's all you need to do. Really. Like that's your one thing. That's your focus. It's just source leads. And essentially that's people who you want to reach out to is facing a problem that you can solve. Just reach out to those specific people. So you need to focus on one niche or whatever you want to call it. Focus on those people so you can streamline and automate, or not streamline, automate, but like you can essentially copy and paste your outreach messages, okay? Because it's the same problem they are facing. Let's say reaching out to a gym guy and then like a finance guy, like they're not, experiencing the same problems. You go to the gym guy, like, you should eat, like I can't go off the top of my head, like with these problems, but like, are you overweight, like, and you're struggling to lose, maybe the fat around your belly? Like, I've got a solution for you, or something along those lines. Like, I'm not going to come up with like Alex Amosi style, like, copy in this video, but like I can definitely, when I sit down and actually focus, I can do that. But you just reach out to them, and let's say you reach out to the finance guy, like, I can help you lose some belly fat. He's like, what? I want to make money. Like you need to reach out to the same people. So yeah, that's all I would do. Source the leads, send the messages, personalize it with their name, maybe a personalized compliment as well, just to increase the reply rate. And then from there, in the DMs or in the email, I would just go back and forth, basically encouraging them to schedule a meeting with me where I open a Zoom call, which is essentially a sales call, and then sell them on the service. So that's all you're really doing, is just reaching out to these people. And when they are facing a problem they want solved, because all humans want to solve all their problems so they can experience this state of bliss, which is never really the case. So they're constantly going to have problems. So you can constantly solve that and constantly make money. All right. So that's how it works. And then once you present that to them and they have this deep sense of actually solving that problem, all right, so they have this pain, and pain causes them to act. Okay, because when you put your hand on a stove, it's like that pain causes you to act. So when they see a message and they're in a painful state, it's like they will act, and they will answer back like, yes, I want some help with losing belly fat. If that's like, impacting their life in a painful manner, like they can't get any dates, like they're not confident in themselves, like they just want a better life, like they want to solve that problem, they will reply to you, and then you just encourage them on. And that's where, by encourage, I mean like, appointment setting. So that's essentially the skill of turning that attention you get. Like attention is essentially where you've messaged them, they message back. That's like you've got their attention now, all right? And to get their attention, you need to send them a message that elicits a response, all right? By actually showcasing that they have a problem. So send a message, you actually showcase that they have this problem and you have the solution. Because if they feel like you understand their problem like so well, they feel like you have the solution. Like you understand them so deeply, they think you have the solution. All right, it's just a natural byproduct of that. So they'll respond to you. You encourage them to schedule a meeting. They schedule a call on your calendar. You send over the link, and they hop on the Zoom call. Now you actually need to sell them. All right. So that's all I did, going from 0 to 10K a month. Just sending messages to people, right? And then hopping on a Zoom call and closing them. So it took me 27 sales calls to land my first client. All right. So, and he was paying me like 2.5K a month, dollars. Okay. So that's around just under 50,000 Rand per month. Okay. So I was just doing that nonstop. And within like, I think it was, once I signed that first client, 30 days later, I made $10,000 a month, or 200,000 Rand, just under that, 200,000 Rand in that month. So in 30 days. So that's essentially how I did it. And you just don't need to, like, the best advice I can give at this stage is just don't give up. Just keep sending the messages. Like, there are 8 billion people, or let's say in your niche specifically, there's like 1 million people, let's say. Like, you need to reach out to all 1 million people. Like, that's your goal. If you do that, you'll get to 100K a month, like 2 million Rand a month, okay? So just reach out to more people. And that's all you need to do. So you're a one-man show from 0 to 200,000 Rand per month. Like, you're a one-man show, all right? And that's all pure profit then. But me, for example, I outsourced my service delivery. So the actual service I gave to my client, which is like mass organic content for big influencers, I outsourced that from the get-go, from the start, all right? So all I did is sales. So that's essentially all I'm doing right now as well. And yeah, so, and then from 10 or 200,000 Rand to 500,000 Rand a month is basically just hiring and time and leverage. So hiring is essentially just getting people, so getting more of you. So essentially just spreading out your time, because you only have 18 or 16 hours in a day. So like you need to and 16 hours not enough to build like a big business. So you need to hire more of you, so you can have 16, another 16 here, another 16. So that's already 32 hours. Let's say 2 people, that's 32 hours you can use to build your business. And then, that would help with the service delivery, so I can have more time to do sales calls. I would outsource my client acquisition. So essentially sending the emails, sending the DMs, like I would outsource that to other people. So there's another 16 right there. All right, so that's 48 hours already. So, that's almost 50 hours working on my business, but I'm just doing like, let's say 2, because I'm only doing the sales calls, okay? Which is the most highest leverage activity for bringing money, bringing revenue in your business, okay? So, yeah, so getting from 200,000 Rand to 500,000 Rand is essentially just time. So spreading out your time, hiring more people, leverage. Leverage is essentially like this thing where you've got like your this triangle right here. That's leverage. So you can obviously change this. Let's just do this. So if it's here, you need less effort on this side to like make a drastic change. But if it's like that, when you're starting out, like, oh wait, that's the wrong way around. It's like this. You need to put a lot of effort on this side, okay, to actually lift this up. You need to put a lot of effort. But leverage is just like changing this, okay? So you can just put like a little effort and it just, moves a lot more. So that was a terrible explanation, but like, you know what I mean by leverage, okay? It's just essentially, that's what it is. Like, hopefully, if you watch this video, like I hope you know what leverage means, okay? I'm having some trouble explaining it here, but hopefully that diagram, whatever that was suffice enough. So that's essentially what you need to get to 500,000 Rand a month. And then hiring, leverage, and then time. And then time is essentially the thing you get if you hire more people. Just outsourcing yourself from the business. So you just have one specific activity you focus on. That's for me, for example, sales and management. So managing my team and also doing sales. Yeah, that's essentially that. And you also need to give it time. Another thing I want to mention about time is that in business, there's this term called latency. So that's essentially the time delay from input, right? So actually sending these emails and DMs and reaching out to people, putting yourself out there, to making money. That's called latency, that time delay. Like, people are doing that content, doing the ads, doing the outreach messages. They're not getting the results, but it takes time, okay? So, but you can actually shorten that time by, spending money, which is essentially just compressed time. So like, here in Indonesia, like it's like I spent like 1 million on these 2 rings. So it's like, but that's 1 million Indonesian rupees, whatever. So that's basically just compressed time, because people took their time and their effort to make this. So when I spend the money, I'm basically buying their time that it took for them to make this. I can make this I cannot make this on my own, but like if I were to make this on my own, it would just take time and effort. But I pay the money, so I can essentially just compress that time and effort and get the finished product like that. So that's essentially where money comes in. So you can pay people money to, for their time. So that's like the biggest life hack ever. When you get to this stage, like 500,000 Rand a month and above, whatever, like just see where you can spend money for more time. So just give people money so they can use their time. So you can use your time more efficiently on bigger picture things, okay? So that's the things you need to remember. And basically the schedule that got me from, it's not like a schedule like 9 a.m. I did this. Like, no. Like, it's just like sales calls throughout the day. Like, that's all I really did, because all the other stuff was already outsourced. Like, people were doing my emails. They were already like, getting me bookings on my calendar. And all I had to do is just hop on the sales call. Like, that was my only thing I needed to do. Like, that's the one thing by the book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. Like, that was my one thing. It's just doing sales. Okay. So yeah, hopefully this video, provided some value for you. And just another thing I wanted to re-emphasize is the importance of spending money to decrease the time delay from, doing your inputs and actually getting the results. And obviously you can do everything on your own, but it's much better to spend money. It's actually cheaper, like, believe it or not, to spend lots of money. Like, that's the thing people don't understand. It's like, you need to spend money to actually decrease the time from you experiencing your goals. So I said, like, on this sales call I did when I joined a mentorship program. Oh, my battery is almost low. It was 10%. And I said, like, on the call, I was like, I can do this on my own. 1000%. I will do this on my own. Like, I can 100% do this on my own. Like, that's the thing. But I would rather spend the money to decrease the time that I make it. You know that how important that is. So I spent like 200,000 Rand, okay, to buy coaching or to buy skills and mentorship from, someone, in order for me to achieve my goals quicker, so I can actually make money quicker. So essentially I was saving money, because in that year, okay, where, me out here doing it on my own, like, I would probably do it on my own, but it took like maybe 2 years. And by me spending money, it took me 6 months. Okay, so I had an extra 18 months of making money. And in those 18 months, I made, like, let's say, $350,000. Okay, $350,000. That's like, let's say like just over 6 million Rand in those 18 months. Okay, so by 6 million Rand minus 200,000 Rand I spent is like 5.8 million Rand I made extra. Okay, 5.8 million in that time span. But if I did it on my own, I would be making 200,000 Rand that second year. 200,000 Rand. You see, like, I'm literally losing money. I lost 5.6 million, like the 5.8 million I made, okay, because I shortened my time frame of actually making that money. That 5.8 million I made, right? I lost 5.6 by doing it on my own. I didn't save money. I lost 5.6 million in opportunity cost by not spending that money. Does that make sense? Okay, because even by me doing it on my own, I made 200,000 Rand in 2 years, okay, which is still decent, but still, I lost 5.6 million because in that time frame where I spend the money to actually acquire the skills so I can achieve my goals quicker, I made 5.8 million, okay? So, let's say I make and then I obviously minus the 200,000 of the mentorship, so that's 5.6 million I made, just like that, okay? So I basically lost 5.6 million by doing it on my own. And I didn't, so that's why I'm able to live the life that I want quicker, all right? So with that said, if you want some help with that, if you want some help with actually achieving your goals quicker, if that all makes sense, you can just schedule a link down below. I'd love to help you with your journey wherever you are stuck at. I've been through it all. I know exactly what you need to do, like literally exactly. Every single call I help on, every single client I help with my one-on-ones, I know exactly what they need to do because I was at that stage. I see myself in them. I'm like, that's exactly what you need to do. And they're like, what, really? Because they can't see it. I'm from a different perspective. Like I'm further ahead on the journey. So I've already walked the road. So when I say, okay, turn left there, go straight there, they're like, oh shit, like I achieved my goals way quicker. That's exactly what I help you with. So if you just, that analogy what I explained, where I made an extra 5.6 million by spending 200,000, if that made sense to you, you can just schedule a call down below, or if you have any questions, you can just DM me on Instagram at Andro Koen, and then I will get back to you. But hopefully if you enjoyed this video, just leave a like and subscribe and all that cool stuff, and then I'll see you on next week's video. Cheers.